Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to our miniature gaming video series. Here's the British so far. I finished all the British out of the Waterloo box now. I realised, and I don't remember if I mentioned it in the last video. I might not have done, but with the command being 6 men and kind of a bit packed on one of these little bases. I decided to split them into 2 threes. Now that means that our six people now take up 2 bases, which meant I actually had I didn't need as many of the basic infantry fellows in each unit. So actually I had enough from the Waterloo box to make these 3 line infantry battalions. Except, you'll notice I've got some new metal people. Here we are, here's a metal officer. He's actually a warlord from Warlord Games. Oh dear, they're all falling over. They're having a lie down. Let's have them sleep. They're from the Warlord British command set. So they're a bit of variety from our Perry command, which might make this a bit of an easier comparison. If I can get down and show you, you'll see that this guy is slightly broader and slightly less detailed than this guy, although I'm not entirely sure. You can see the detail. And I don't know if I can switch this to macro, so you can... Oh, it focuses. There we go. Let's turn him around so he's very much in the light. We can slowly go in. So you can see a lot more of the kind of detail on the chest in comparison to this fellow, who's a bit more kind of plain and is slightly broader. This is probably a better angle, actually, to show you. So I think... I don't recall if I actually mentioned it. This is the thing with having like practices and thinking about what I'm going to talk about, is I don't recall actually what I've talked about. But the Warlord game miniatures are on 28mm, so the same height, but they're heroic scales. That's Games Workshop basically. Whereas the Perrys are real. I think I had discussed that, and they're true scale. So it does mean that I have quite a few spare heads from the British, from the Warlord ones. I could use those with, on, for example, Imperial Guard, if I wanted to get into 40k. Like I need another one of these games at the moment. Let's just work on getting the British and the French done to a decent standard. And I was thinking about doing a 3rd one. My only frustration with this command set, and you can see this with this fellow, is that is a different, the spear or the banner, or I don't know what it's called, but the bit that holds the flag, the pole, oh dear, knocked him over, and you're not going to stand up, so I'll just stand you up, is a different colour. That's because it's a separate part of the model. They give you, they basically give you, and I'll show you from the Hanoverian command, they give you a little bit of, basically just a little kind of rod of metal, a little spear point for stabbing people, potentially. So that's the one from the Hanoverians. Now, the problem with this is, because they're separate, you have to drill through the hands. You can see there's a hole. You can see like a black space. That's the hole that's been drilled through. I don't think this is going to wobble now because it is super glued. So it's a bit frustrating. I think, so the the Perry ones, these ones are plastic for the British command. So you just kind of, stick that into the hand. You don't have to worry about anything. So you can trying to work out how to get it in focus. There we go. So you can see his hands around the banner, not particularly well, but they're glued together. Similarly, I'm just going to leave you there, I'll put you back later. So the Hanoverians like this, you have to drill. I think their metal, the Perry metals, I think come with it attached. Now, I'm not getting any of those for the British because you can get them in plastic. We've just talked about them, but I think the French come in metal, so we're going to see those. So that is all of the British Line Infantry from Waterloo, not the Hanoverians. We'll see those kind of maybe next time. I'm not sure what I'm going to do this week, though. I think I'm going to prime these guys, and probably also working on the Hanoverians. It depends how much time I have. I might get a lot of work. I have bought paint. Kind of need them. This. You can get British Infantry Napoleonic Wars, which is especially for Warlord. This is Vallejo paint, so I'm going to give this a go. The really frustrating thing is basically they give you, let's show you the paints you get in this box. So you get kind of a goldy colour, that's for kind of the plate of the shako and maybe a few other touching bits. An off-white, so that's for the kind of belts, really. You've got steel, so that's the barrel of the musket, the bayonet, and other bits of metal, like the swords. Got red, obviously. You've got a grey, which is mainly for the trousers, and you've got this kind of buff, this kind of creamy kind of thing, which they say to use for the haversacks, that's the backpacks, but the backpacks they use a brown. And they don't give you a brown, but they do give you blue and green. That's for the facings, so I'm not entirely sure what the facings are, so I'll have to look into that. But they're for some of the kind of bits like the cuffs, I think, certainly. And basically, the colour of the facings on the uniform would match the regimental colour. So that's why I bought this box of British Line Infantry, because that's going to have colours in it, or it should do. Yes, it's got like some colours there. And then that'll tell me what colours I can use for these guys and their facings. I'm just kind of a bit frustrated with that. So I then went and bought some more colours, and I have a black, a brown, and then two flesh colours. Because I don't know why they didn't put a flesh colour in here. Just if you dropped the blue and the green and replace them with one flesh colour and a brown. I don't have any real highlights for these, so these are not going to be very well painted. But I mean, this is going to be my first time painting miniatures in a long time. So I mean, I don't know how much I'm going to be able to get done for this week. Because I might be working a lot this week. There's a lot of supply apparently coming in now. In schools, I think I'm going to try and get some of these primed and then work on I could work on this other British Line Infantry and have all the British done in one go. Or I could work on the Hanoverians, because I think the Hanoverians would be two line battalions, I think. And then once they're done, they'd be finished. And then it's a matter of thinking what I'm doing with the French. I've got various infantry. I think it's 48, and then there's some cavalry. I've got Marshal Ney, and I've got some of the Vistula Legion. Now, I don't think that they were at Waterloo, but they were used a lot by the French, certainly, I think, before Napoleon's first loss in 1814. But he did have some Polish troops with him, so we can play silly hypotheticals with that and be like, oh yeah, they were at they fought with him like during the Waterloo campaign, because apparently this is Waterloo kind of uniforms, which I think they changed going into 1815 on the side of the British. If they idea if, well, I mean, you can always do silly things like, oh yeah, this is like a unit, or they're wearing the same stuff as the Polish Fistula Legion, or they're as good at. I don't know. So yes, there's what I've got done this week. I don't think I've ordered anything else. Oh, I've ordered some Osprey books because they talk about uniform, and I might show them to you next time, assuming they arrive. Oh, that was one thing I was going to mention. So, actually, before I go, let me just mention this. And right, if you look really close and hope that it zooms in, come on, zoom in. You'll notice he's got like a little thing on his shoulder. Those are sometimes called nests. They are really badly glued on, but they show that he's a member of a flank company. Now, the flank companies were the light company and the grenadiers, and they were normally on either side of the battalion. Now, these guys don't have nests because I didn't have enough kind of bits. You get some units, some models, just have them on, and I've actually clipped off his nests so that he can just be somewhere else, because the nests are a bit fiddly, and I don't. They have one sculpt for the nests. So this guy. So this guy is your flank company. So that's 8 guys. They suggest 8 guys look like this. They do give you a little set of nests there, basically, so you can put them on another unit. So in the British Line Infantry box, we can just glue those in. We can just glue those onto a unit, for one model from each. But then you end up with, I think 4 of these guys out of your 8. Not a fan of that. What I'm thinking of doing is I might do a similar thing with them, is trim off some of the nests from some guys and get another unit, get another Victrix, do a flank company one, and then they're going to be slightly thinner, so I could use those as the light companies. They're kind of slightly slimmer and more agile for the skirmishes kind of thing, and then move these guys to grenadiers over this flank, and then that actually gives me will leave me 3 bases from here that I won't be using, and I can use them elsewhere. I mean, with 3, if I've got the same thing here, that's 3, 3 plus like another command and the Victrix Light Company. There's another. There would be another battalion. I keep planning on I'm planning on buying more infantry. What the British need is cavalry and maybe some more artillery pieces. That's what they need. But we can think about that another time. I have actually got a battle mat. So once I've got the British and the French done, I might play a game for you. See how that goes, and that might give me ideas of where what the British need. I think it's probably going to reinforce the fact that they need the manoeuvrability of cavalry, but we'll see. But I mean, we've got a long way to go before we can start playing with these guys, because these guys are not painted. The French are still on their sprues, and local lockdown here means that I can't meet people outside of my support bubble, and the people in my support bubble do not play and don't have any, so don't have any miniatures and don't play this. So yeah, we're going to be doing this, and then I'm going to be playing the British versus the French. And my very quick analysis of the French army, the French army I can get, I think is going to be a better army, I would say. Having not played this game, I think it'll be better. But yes, we'll find out. Thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for watching.